When you see someone who has what you want, that's your driftwood. It's a sign that it is on the way for you. Don't compare. Say, thank you, universe, for my driftwood.
Gabrielle Bernstein, a role model for spiritual seekers.
No matter where you are in this room right now, no matter what's going on for you, whether you're struggling financially, whether you're struggling with your physical health, whether you're struggling with a relationship, whether you're looking at your life and you're thinking, is this it? No matter where you are right now, there is so much more available to you when you crack yourself open to the infinite possibilities of what a spiritual relationship is. Are you ready for that? And the only thing really blocking us from that spiritual relationship is the misguided belief that we can control the future. Take that in. Let's just do a little experiment. You guys know that thing that you've been strangling, right? That desire that you've been future tripping, or that the thing you think you need. If I don't have that thing, who am I? When will I get that thing? Or that manifestation that you just so deeply have to attract into your life. Or that worry that you have on repeat, that you keep repeating and repeating. You know what I'm talking about, right? That thing you're holding on to, that future tripping. All right, let's do a little experiment. For the next 24 hours, I want you to give it away just for the day. 24 hours. Just take that desire, take that fear, take that worry, take that thing that you're trying to control, and just offer it up to the universe. We're going to do it through a prayer. Offer it up and just say, thank you, universe, for taking this from me. Show me where to go and what to do. Do it with me right now. Just place your hand on your heart and your hand on your belly, and just take a deep breath in and take that thing that you've been controlling, the outcome, the worry, the fear, the desire, the person, and offer it up just for 24 hours starting now. Thank you, universe, for taking this from me. I welcome what is of the highest good for all. Show me where to go and what to do. And take a deep breath in and let that go. And when you're ready, open your eyes. How does that feel? Toronto, how does that feel? Did anybody feel relief? Just for the day, right? You can do that for today. You can do that. So throughout tonight and then into tomorrow, all the way till tomorrow night at 7:40, whatever it is, you are going to notice whenever that worry comes up and you're going to be like, oh, Gabby told me to give it away. Thank you, universe, for taking this from me, and offer it up. And then it's going to come up a little bit later and you're going to say, oh, Gabby told me to give that away. Thank you, universe, for taking this from me, and just give it over again. And you're going to consistently stay in that energy and that flow of just noticing and then saying, oh, I'm giving it away just for today. You can do anything for one day. You can do anything for one day. Okay, just for today, I can offer this up, and I want you to keep returning to it. And then tomorrow night, when you get down to right before you go to bed, I want you to take a journal out, and I want you to notice how different your day was. I want you to really document the moments where you felt relief, the moments where you felt inner peace, the moments where you felt just like you had more energy, or you felt like you were experiencing more synchronicities or more support, or you intuitively knew what to do and you felt less blocked. Document it. And if it goes well for you, which it will, know that you can do it again the next day. Give it away just for the day. I do this all the time. In fact, I think it's part of the reason why I'm standing here still 20 years sober, because I kept it in the day. One day at a time, I turned over my will. One day at a time, I asked for a miracle. One day at a time, I surrendered, and I surrendered more. And in that surrender, I found myself just opening my heart to new ways of healing and new ways of awakening and a new way of bettering and shining the crystal, which I still do every single day. You don't stop. And the more you turn over your desires and your fears and your worries and you give them away, the less you believe you have control over them. And the more you start to feel in your body that there is a presence beyond your physical sight that is guiding you, supporting you, and directing you. And that when you're not in that place of strangling your desires or your worries or your future, you're free. And in that freedom, you hear intuitive ideas and you know, I gotta walk into that room right now and that's where you meet your husband. Or you know what, this is no longer the right job for me and you don't know why, but you let it go and then that great opportunity opens up for you. You're listening, you're listening, you're listening, and you're living a guided life. And living a guided life, I think we block it so often. How many of you have said lately or at any time this past year, I'm not having fun? I have. I've totally said that. Gabby Bernstein. Both hands up. I didn't have any boob tape tonight, so we have to be careful here. Okay. It's not that kind of show. Okay. So we've had those moments where we're like, it's not fun anymore. What's going on? I'm not having fun. And the truth is when we're not having fun, we're really out of alignment with that spiritual presence. But can you remember the last time that you were having so much fun and you were just not thinking about anything else? And then boom, that thing that you wanted fell into your lap, or the idea sparked, or the creative vision came forward for you, or something just fell into place. Does anyone have those experiences? Miracles happen when you're having fun. Miracles happen when you're having fun. So I want you to ask yourself, what can I do to have more fun? I was coming here and I was like, you know what, Robin? Wouldn't it be Robin, my friend that was out here introducing me so beautifully? I said, wouldn't it be fun if you just came to Toronto with me for the night? And she was like, yes, that would be so fun. And then the last 6 hours of us being here, so we woke up at 4:30 in the morning, got on the plane, came here. We've had a lot of fun. We took a nap. We had lunch. We went to the gym. We walked around. We got chicken. We are having fun. And then she's backstage, she's getting her makeup done, with my makeup done, with the beautiful Robin, the makeup artist. There's lots of Robins in the room. We're having fun. And then that gave me the energy to come out here and be with you and bring a higher vibe than I might have otherwise if I wasn't in such a high vibration with my friend. So wouldn't it be fun if I brought my friend with me? Wouldn't it be fun if I went for a walk and just looked at the sunset? Wouldn't it be fun if I decided not to do that thing that I always do in the evening and do something different? Wouldn't it be fun if I put my phone down? I say it to myself too. And so this is your lesson, guys. You have these desires, you have this desire for a spiritual relationship. You want to trust the universe. We now know we have to give it away, and we now know we have to have a lot more fun. But then there's a lot of things that get in the way of that fun. And oftentimes the things that get in the way of that fun are the people that piss us off the most. You know what I'm talking about. A while back, I got this text from my husband. And it was actually a video. And there was nothing but this link to the video. And the video was a message for me. And the video was a video of my late mentor and friend, Dr. Wayne Dyer. Yes. And Wayne was holding an orange. And he had this orange in his hand. And he said to this audience of people that he had in front of him, he said, no matter how hard I squeeze this orange, what's going to come out? Orange juice. He says, I could squeeze it so hard and nothing else is coming out but orange juice. And he said, why? Because it's an orange. Orange juice comes out of an orange. He then extended the metaphor and said, well, what would happen if someone squeezes you? What might come out of you? And people said, anger, rage, frustration, silence, anxiety. And he said, yeah. What comes out of you is what's inside of you. And you have to remember, my husband sent that to me. What comes out of us is what is an unhealed wound that still lives inside of us. Anytime that we have these moments of witnessing ourselves and saying, I don't know what happened, but a part of me just took over. Anybody had that experience? A part of me just took over. It's because a part of you literally just took over. A young, burdened part of you that feels unlovable, inadequate, ignored, gaslit, not good enough. They're very young parts of us. We've exiled these parts of us, and then we pick up these protection mechanisms. And when those exiled young parts of us that are probably as young as we can remember, far, far back, maybe even babies, when they get triggered, these young little people inside of us, the protection mechanisms come out. I have one called Knives Out. She's a lot better now. You wouldn't have wanted to meet her like 5 years ago. And I've got a controller part. The controller part will come out, or I've got the knives out part that will come out, or I've got the defensive part that will come out. And these parts, why are they there? Because they were the only way we could numb the pain of feeling inadequate, unlovable, the terror of trauma if we had it as children, the feelings of being ignored or not loved, not good enough. And so we've been protecting ourselves for a really long time. Everybody tracking that with me? Yeah. And those protection mechanisms block us from our spiritual source, our self energy, the energy of the presence of calmness, the energy of the presence of clarity, curiosity, connection, confidence, courage, creativity. And that self energy is our spirit energy. But when we're so burdened by these protectors, we're burdened by the beliefs and the fears of the world, and we forget the self-energy and the spiritual connection that we have. But that self-energy never left us. It's like an internal healer inside of us, an inner parent ready to soothe us. And all we have to do is check in instead of check out. What I'm teaching you right now is internal family systems therapy, which I devoted my 10th book, Self-Help, to. Self-Help is my greatest manifesting book. Self-Help is my most spiritually aligned book. Not at face value. It's called Self-Help. It's about a therapy. You might think, well, that's not for me. I just want, like, give me The Universe Has Your Back, like Super Attractor. That's my book. This book, if practiced, has the power to realign you with your spiritual source. Because what this book does is it allows you to get into a friendship. You befriend these young parts of yourself instead of hating them or judging them or forcing them to be something different. You know those parts of yourself. Everybody familiar with a part of themselves that sort of gets a little overreactive at times? Anyone? Yes? Who are those parts, guys? Talk to me. No, but what are they? Like, are they angry? Like, are they raging? What do they do? Scared, self-deprecating, insecure, controlling. I got that one. Yeah. Lonely, irritable. Judgmental is a big one. They're addicted. Sometimes they're suicidal. These are protection mechanisms. And these protector parts work on hard drive. They are just overnight working all day long. The second they get triggered, it's like the protectors come up. And so the process that I created, I became trained in this therapy because it healed my life. And I became very close friends with the man who founded the therapy. His name is Dr. Richard Schwartz. And Dick gave me the greatest gift of my life, other than my son and my husband, which is he trusted me to take his 45-year therapy that has healed countless people and helped people restore themselves from trauma and resurrect their lives. And he trusted me to turn it into a self-help practice so that you could use it, so that you could experience the gift of it, so that you could not have to go to that therapy, but maybe be guided because you loved the practice or not. Just do the self-help work. The reason it's called self-help is because inside of us is self. The internal parent, the internal healer. And when we access self, self can help the internal family of parts inside. So instead of talking to you more about it, I want you to experience it. Instead of checking out with that protector part, even me talking about these protectors right now might have some of your protectors being like, I'm going to go get a popcorn, come back after that. I want more manifesting. The protectors don't like this conversation. So I'm going to guide you gently through the 4-step process in a meditation. And the 4-step process is a gentle inquiry to align yourself and connect, curious connection, compassionate connection to these young parts inside. So you can gently close your eyes and think about that protection mechanism in your life, the part of you that kind of runs the show. Maybe it's addicted. Maybe it's angry. Maybe it's afraid. A perfectionist. Plays small. And focus your attention inside right now towards that part inside. Notice where it lives in your body. And breathe deeply and exhale completely. And what does it feel like inside your body? What do you know about it? Are there any thoughts or images or sensations that come to your mind when you connect more closely inside? Just be curious. And breathe. And now with a little bit of connection to this part of you, let's offer some compassion. Asking that part of you right now, what do you need? What do you need? And listen. And now take a deep breath in and extend that breath inside to that part. And as you extend that breath inside, notice any shifts inside your body. Notice if you feel a little bit more calm or a little bit more connected. Notice if you have any compassion towards this part of you, or if you have more clarity about it. And place your hand on your heart one more time. And let the part know that you're here and that you can check in again. And take one last deep breath in and release. And when you're ready, open your eyes to the room. How do you feel? Do you feel calm? Does anybody feel compassion towards that part of themselves? Yep. Anyone have more clarity about what that part needs right now? Do you have more clarity about that part of you in general? Yeah. Do you feel curious about it? Do you want to get to know it a little bit more? Do you feel the courage to maybe know more? Somebody over here really had a good experience. This is a practice I do 5 times a day. I do it in depth in my therapy weekly. And it's my practice of recognizing that the spiritual essence that I long for is always there. that self with a capital S is there. But my job is to release the blocks to the presence of that self. So for 20 years, I've been on a mission of releasing the blocks to the presence of that self. And this practice of internal family systems therapy was the thing that really skyrocketed my healing. So much so that now I have such a beautiful relationship with these parts inside that I can witness them super activated and take care of them right away. Because by doing this spiritual work and being in the self-help practice does not mean that you're perfect. It does not mean that you don't act out. It does not mean that you don't get triggered. It just means that you come back fast. It means that you have the tools at your fingertips to access. And it does mean that you do feel better and better and better and better. It means that you can take care of your side of the street. A recovery meeting last night, I qualified and I sat in these rooms that saved my life. And I was sharing on one of the steps, which is the 9th step, which is to make amends. And I talked about how in the last week, where I wasn't even thinking about it, I was coming to give a qualification about making amends, and I had some spontaneous amends that happened to me over that past week. And I also realized that the greatest amends that I had been able to make was the amends I've made to myself. Taking care of myself, loving myself, giving myself spiritual food, therapeutic support. So when we practice a practice like these 4 steps and we choose to check inside instead of check out and binge on YouTube and check out and eat the food and check out and pick up the drink and check out and smoke the weed or check out and call the boyfriend, whatever it is, we choose to check in instead. Or after we do the misguided thing and we've acted out, we choose to check in instead of hate ourselves more. And we check in and we check in and we check in. And the more we check in, the more self-energy starts to bubble up. The more calm we feel. Self is these C qualities. The more courageous we are, the more creative we are, the more clear we are, the more compassionate we are, the more confident we are, the more courageous we are in any given moment. These C qualities emerge naturally because they are who we are. We've just blocked it. And let yourself off the hook for having those protectors, because guys, they've been doing a real good job. They've been keeping you safe. They've been keeping things under control. As I shared last night in the meeting, I said, I'm so proud of my addict part, my 25-year-old who got sober, that she was using drugs and alcohol, and she did the best she could to stay alive, to survive. She was pushing down some serious trauma. She would do whatever it took to numb the pain. And while I didn't want to live in that extreme role, I'm proud of her. And so I ask you right now, are you willing, and you guys answered me, are you willing to heal? I know the answer is yes. You wouldn't be here if it wasn't, unless somebody dragged you here and you're like, I think so. Are you willing to go to any length to heal? How many of you read Self-Help? Okay. How many of you read The Universe Has Your Back? Yeah. Pick up Self-Help. Not because I want you to buy the book, because The Universe Has Your Back is an epic book and I love it so deeply. And it's my favorite book I've ever written. But it's a lot less sexy to pick up a book that has bright red letters that says self-help and then to open it and be like, I gotta do some work. You guys, freedom is on the other side, my friends. Freedom is on the other side. And sometimes the spiritual practice is another protector. Sometimes we use our spiritual practice to spiritually bypass what's really happening inside. And I believe our spiritual practice is a guide towards the deeper work. It's my girl. Taking you home with me. The spiritual practice is a guide towards the deeper work. The spiritual practice creates a safer baseline. The spiritual practice creates a faith in the universe and a wild understanding of synchronicities and support and energy. It's valuable. But then there's a next level. Are you ready to up level, Toronto? You're ready to up level? This is the up level. It's not sexy. I was thinking about the book cover. The book cover says self-help in big letters. And I was always like, you know what? They can always take the jacket off if they want to and just read it. But then I was thinking about the paperback and I was like, uh-oh, what am I going to do with the paperback? And then I thought maybe I would write self-help really tiny. How funny would that be? I get a kick out of myself. Okay. So pick up the book. This book heals. It heals. Whenever I meet people, and I've been on the road this year, and they said, I read self-help. I'm like, you're a rock star. You're a rock star. Those are the same people that read Judgment Detox. So don't shame yourself if you're not ready for it. You might just want to read it and not do it yet. You might just be like, I'm not ready for it at all. Okay. You meet it when you're ready. You read it when you need it. But this practice is broken out like this. You notice when you're activated, maybe it's 3 days later, maybe it's the night after, maybe it's right in the moment. You notice, uh-oh, there's that part again. It's right there. It's right next to me. It's inside of me. It's freaking out. I want to lose my mind. And you maybe step away, or maybe the next night or the afternoon, you check in with it. So instead of checking out, the ways that we check out would be to do the rage, to go to the fridge, to pick up the drink. Instead of checking out, you choose to check in. Step one, choose to check in inside. So you focus your attention inside. That's it. Step two is you become curious. And you start asking the part some questions. Okay, where are you in my body? What do you feel like? Notice if there's any sensations or energy about it. Or any thoughts or memories, images. Let me ask you, those parts of you, I'm going to ask you, how old are those parts of you? Children. Young. As long as you can remember. You could even ask, like, when did you show up? Get curious. That's step two. Step three is to compassionately connect. That's when you ask the part, what do you need? What do you need? When was the last time you asked yourself, what do you need? What do I need? Anyone? One person. And then the final step is to check for self. So you'll check and you'll say, do I feel more calm? Do I have more clarity? Do I feel courageous? Do I feel compassion towards the part? Do I feel connected to that part? Do I feel more confident in this moment? Do I feel like I have the creative energy buzzing inside of me? These C qualities emerge naturally when we check inside. And so this is the greatest spiritual work. Why? Because when you tend to the young parts of yourself inside, you let these parts know that there's safety within. And when you create that safe baseline, that self-energy emerges naturally. There's a beautiful quote from a IFS teacher, practitioner. He said that self is like the sun behind the clouds. And when the clouds dissipate, the self-energy emerges naturally like the sun. Imagine if you could walk through life knowing that no matter how far you go down the road of negativity or fear or addiction, that you'd always know where to turn. That there was always safety. There was always calmness. There was always compassion. There was always a connection. There was always the internal parent that you never had. How different would your life be? Pretty different. I welcome you guys tonight to consider this. When we do the Q&A, I want to check in with you guys about this, because these relationships inside are our spiritual relationship. We come here as spirits having a human experience to experience the difficult moments so that we can unlearn those moments and remember the light and the love and the self of who we are. And each moment of memory is a miracle. Each time we shift from that fear to love, each time we release the separation from that love and we connect more closely to the presence of self inside, that is a miracle. And so even if you just had the slightest molecule of calmness tonight when we did the meditation, that is a miracle. You with me? Good. And I'll be interested to see where you are in a week from now. But my suggestion would be for the next 7 days, notice when you want to check out and check in instead. Focus your attention inward. Become curious about the part of yourself that wants to check out. Compassionately connect and ask, what do you need? And then check and see if self-energy is present. For the next 7 days, try this. Try it. And you're going to begin to see the magic of the universe start to unfold. When you live in this way, you start to feel more free. And then these experiences start to unfold and you start to trust the universe more. You have more faith. You've transcended your fears and that faith becomes real. And you start to trust that the universe really does have my back. The universe has 3 responses. 3, just 3. Yes, like a hell yes. Not now, or something way better is on the way. So don't underestimate the moments when it doesn't work out. A girlfriend of mine is actually my makeup artist in Los Angeles. I was doing my makeup in LA and I was talking to her and I was telling her a little bit about my talk that I was preparing. And she said, oh my God, that happened to me. And I said, what do you mean? She said, I was walking to my car in LA and I was feeling like there was a guy near my car and it was really stressing me out and it was kind of freaking me out. And I asked this woman to drive next to me. And then I got there and he ran off and he'd slashed my tires. In LA, like you can't get to work without your tires, right? So she's like so pissed. And then she realizes that she'd been told like 6-7 months ago that she needed to change her tires. The universe changed them for her. The obstacles are detours. The moments when it doesn't work out is because something better is on the way. I live my life like this 90% of the time. It feels so freaking good, guys. I literally will look at something and I'll say, oh, that didn't work out. Thank you, universe. Thank you, universe. What's meant for me will come to me and it will be very clear. And what's not meant for me will be removed from me quickly. Thank you. And just open your heart to living in that way where you're just in the wonder of, yeah, it's a hell yes. It's a not now, or maybe there's something better. Maybe there's something better. You're always being guided. You're always being directed. You just have to lean into that truth. Remember that truth. Activate that truth. And the universe would not plant your desires in your heart unless it was for a reason. So even if it doesn't show up exactly as you planned, or even if you're not feeling the experience that you want to feel immediately, you have to trust that you're part of a journey, you're part of an awakening, you're part of a guided path, and to enjoy the journey along the way. It wasn't easy starting out. I'm sure all of you in this room, when you first broke down or hit your own bottom and you started your spiritual practice, those days are hard and they're feeling maybe fearful or uncertain. As time goes on, it gets a little bit easier and a little bit more connected and you feel more aligned. And then alignment starts to feel more real and that truth starts to take over and you program your mind to remember that you can live in this world, but think with the thoughts of love. And that there is a gentler, softer way. There's a beautiful message from A Course in Miracles. There's a way of living in the world that is not here, though it seems to be. You do not change appearance, but you smile more frequently, and your eyes are soft, and your forehead is serene. I want that for you. I know you can have it. I am your hope merchant tonight. I know it's yours. I'm believing it for you. I'm seeing it for you. This is your chance to change your life. You ready for that, Toronto? If you like this video and you want to get more Gabby, check out the next one right over here.